powerful than the devil, then God knows, obviously, that we know, or that we should know, how to foresee ourselves, right, in the light of the devil, because we are created with four elements. We have Him in us, so we are Him. You know, anything else is non existent. Your flesh is temporary, right? Your flesh is temporary. You see, your spirit is the only power source that when it's growing, it gets more powerful. So it's more powerful as it grows. It doesn't age. Like, the more it ages, the more powerful it becomes. That's your soul. But your flesh, the more it grows, the weaker it becomes. Your mind, the more it grows, the weaker it becomes. That means the mechanisms, right? The tissues, the mechanisms is still, what's it called? Is weak. That means it's temporary. But your soul is eternal, regardless if it's eternal happiness and love and care, or eternal evil, means eternal punishment. But it is a choice that you must make. And you must be able to explain yourself, but understand it is not your physical, because the things, like the excuses and the things that people are going to try to use to explain themselves, it's going to be of the world. But God does not want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't want to hear that, because He knows exactly why you did what you did. And He also knows the opportunities that were presented to you from Him. So there is a major difference in how you perceive things, or what you should do as an individual. Because guess what? Your life is valuable, but is valuable to who? Who is it valuable to? Yes, it's valuable to yourself, but what about God? Does God see you saying, the power of me putting myself in you, what have you done to ignite that power? Because God has sowed the seed. That means all of us is like a seed of Himself inside of us. He said, you know what? I'm going to put myself inside of you. However, I'm going to even the playing field and give you a chance to make your own decisions. So that means Him, He has put limitation until you increase the position of power that He has put inside of you. That means Himself is unlimited. But until you have tapped into that source of power, right, you have limitations. Because the limitations is due to your understanding. And you being able to what? Faith. Faith is the, what's it called? The key of your imagination. You see what I'm saying? It's the key to open your imagination. Faith. That's what faith is. So, because Jesus Christ gave the key, right? He said, I'm going to leave you guys with a gift. Now, the gift is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is dwelling inside of every single person as a guide. Now, we all know, just like a GPS, right? It tells you, okay, this is what you must do. So it gives you sort of like a message, or a message, whether it's vocal or type written message. All of that is given to you. You have the choice to either follow that or don't follow that. But It's due to what you do, meaning how much time you spend with God. So then your GPS will be charged. The Holy Spirit within you would be charged, and you'll be able to do certain things. But there are certain times where you might not understand what you are doing, right? Not because you're not mentally there or anything, but spiritual is about the belief, the faith. So it could be new to your understanding. But make no mistake, the guide sees what you don't see. The guide understands what you don't understand. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't understand when Jesus Christ was getting mad. He got upset in the temple and he starts throwing over the tables and releasing the what's it called? The animals in their stable, the goats, the doves, and all of that. And he said to the Pharisees, do not turn my father's house into, you know, a market. Don't tell, no, don't turn my father's house into a market, right? He was doing spiritual work there. See what I'm saying? At that moment. But they seen it as, oh, why is he getting mad? Why is he doing this? It's because they turn it into a what? A business, right? But it's not, you're not, you, like if you turn it into a business, right? Business on the physical side is good, but spiritual side is not meant to be a business. It is family, it is togetherness, right? All of those things show in business, but is only to a level of degree. But when it's togetherness, when it's connectivity, when it's relationship beyond, you know, work related levels, then it creates deeper love. But the faith makes you unique. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the Holy Spirit will give you words or show you visions and understandings and all of these things or situations. And the Holy Spirit wants to know your insight. Like what what do you perceive? Because the Holy Spirit, right, is helping your spirit grow, right? Helping your spirit to understand certain things. You know, a lot of situations could be presented to you from a certain perspective, but it might not be the right perspective. On the physical aspect, it might make sense in a specific way. Like, okay, it's gonna make sense that, you might cross the street, today, right? It is just an example. But if the Holy Spirit says, you know what, don't cross the street, walk along the what's it called? The trail path and cross the bridge, but don't cross the street. You might look at the trail path and say, well, the trail path is gonna take me 10 more minutes to be able to get to my destination. But if I cross the street, that's like 10 seconds. Why am I gonna go through the trail path and just cross the street? Why not do that? Well, you never know. You might cross the street and all of a sudden an accident took place and you're injured. Now, I'm not saying that that is a, you know, that and then you're injured, right? Or you could have just went on the trail path, took 10 extra minutes, right? It took your time, but you're not injured, you're healthy, and you're okay, and you learned a lesson. My point is this: it is the faith that you must have behind your imagination that will help you to be unique and very important to God. This is something that you must walk with God. You must do things, spend time. I feel like there's a lot of situations where a lot of people are, busy trying to steal certain aspects of people, saying, well, you know, I can do it like the Babylonian times, and take certain what's it called, spiritual gifts and things from people. Every, all those things all those things don't make any sense, simply because you have your own, and you'll be judged the same, and it won't evolve you as an individual, because guess what, everybody has their way of being. Meaning, yes, the same soul that is in you is in me, but which one is intensified? You know what I mean? We can eat the same food, but it would taste different to me than to you. Do you see what I mean? Meaning that we could wear the same type of shoes, but the same color, everything, same brand, but not the same size. Even if it was the same size, still, my balance is different from your balance. You see what I'm saying? So there's always a uniqueness to every specific individual. That is how God knows us like. He always compares us to the sheeps, you know what I mean, in the stable. So understand your abilities, choose to use them wisely. You will get ridiculed for it, because Jesus said, the world did not like me. The world is not going to like you. Because guess what? You're going to change things. You're going to be influential. And a lot of people count on others' downfall in order to elevate, because many people see others as their sort of scapegoat. So they have to utilize them to keep them beneath, so that they can excel, they can elevate. And that's not how you're supposed to be. Huh? If me and you, take this for example, if me and you went to school and we are studying the same course, and I am doing well because I study and I do things, and you chose not to study and do things, but yet when it came time for graduation, if I got a degree or a certificate and you didn't, you are going to say, well, how does this person deserve it? Because of the effort. Hmm? These are just examples, but because of the effort. And time again, people need to put in effort. You cannot be lazy. Do it your own way. Pray your own way. Do it your own way. You know? Because when you are doing it your own way, right? You are flowing, because you're going to get better at what you're doing. You are. You're going to become better. Because guess what? People might see not like you, but there could be many people that want to hear how you have done what you have done through your efforts and faith and perseverance, pushing through the times when, it seemed like it wasn't going anywhere. This is an opportunity for every single individual. I come here all the time on educational fun to make music and videos and just talk about true. What is true helps. Because guess what? You faking so much can only get to a degree, right? God already sees you. God will also, there's going to be anointed people or knowledgeable people that will understand who you are. And anybody that wants to fake their lives because they think, oh yeah, it's okay, I can be fake, I don't have to be real, because the person is not going to truly, accept me for who I am. But nobody, right, is actually a bad person. It just, they start to what? Make bad choices, and they get comfortable with making bad choices because they think it's a process of games. Oh, I'm going to keep doing this because I get the upper hand. You know what I mean? Or I can't, I cannot face the reality of my truth. Now, if you cannot face, it's like you get in a cut and you never take care of it. And you're always say, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. Right? The cut would then be infected and it'll start to grow bacteria. And ultimately, wherever you got the cut, it can transpire somewhere else and it could be very serious if it's not taken care of. That's how manipulation over time takes place. You will say one thing, when you're confronted, it's different. It's changing. Oh, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna do. I'm comfortable with just lying about everything. You know, you cannot be comfortable with doing things that ultimately is affecting your soul. You may think, oh yeah, you have gotten away with it, but your soul has not. You know what I mean? That's how it is. And God needs you to utilize your soul in a positive way in order to bring more light to the world. In a world where there's so much pain, so much suffering. In a world where we know, you know, you never know, 6, 7 months, the Euphrates River or land, yeah, river, would completely be dried up. The river that God said once it dries up, it's going to be